Hi, I'm Rosanne and welcome to my garden. Autumn is the perfect time of year to assess your garden and think about ways to improve it for the coming year. Adding or replacing hardscape is one such way. Often considered the bones of the garden, good hardscaping should be attractive as well as functional. It should complement the greenery in the garden and vice versa. In our part of the world, the most popular hardscape materials are natural stone, concrete, and clay bricks. When we began adding hardscape, beginning with the front walkway, we used our house as inspiration and decided on natural stone that complemented our entryway. In this video, I'll show you various ways we've used hardscape in our garden, what our thought process was, and some tips we've learned along the way. Hopefully, you'll get some new ideas on how to use hardscape in your garden. To give you perspective, here's a bird's eye view of the garden layout of our property. The tan areas represent natural stonework that was added over the course of 20 years or more. On the left of the screen is our front yard with a curved walkway leading up to the main entrance of our house. Or, if you're headed to the garden, you continue on the side path to the arbor-covered garden entrance. Here you follow a meandering stepping stone path in our narrow side yard garden, which eventually opens to the back garden, a special stone bench, patio, and another walkway on the north side of the house. The green is grass, and the colored symbols represent either trees, shrubs, or semi-permanent arbors and trellises. And the white space are areas where I plant perennials and annuals. Toward the back of the garden, we have our garden shed, surrounded by stone pathways and terraced beds. In the other corner, we have our woodland garden with our newest project, a stepping stone path. Gardens and garden paths go hand in hand. It's convenient and comforting to have a defined path connecting one area of the garden to another. Plus, it's an opportunity to introduce anticipation and unexpected surprises or views. We have two kinds of pathways: solid walkways with closely laid stone and defined borders, and stepping stone paths with larger single stones spaced generously. You may have noticed from the diagram or videos that all of our paths have some curve to them. We stayed away from straight lines to help create a more natural and enchanted feel to the garden. In one area, south of our garden shed, we used exaggerated curves to give us larger blocks of growing area on either side of the path. Plus, it looks like it's right out of a fairy tale. Other walkways in our garden include our front walk, our very first hardscape project. This is where I began growing Irish moss, or Sagina subulata, between the stones. It's a perennial that grows well for me in full sun or part or dappled shade and moist soil. If you're interested in learning more, check out my videos on Irish moss. In addition to the attractive and reliable hosta, the front walk is lined with a colorful tulip display in the spring, and annuals and perennials throughout the summer and fall. Connected to the front walkway is a narrow side path leading to our garden entrance. The gate opens to our side yard garden, measuring at 7 feet wide. Here, we use stepping stones for a more rustic and casual look. Again, we grew Sagina subulata between the stones. Here's a view of the side yard garden from the other end. In total, the path is over 50 feet long. The flagstones we used for the path are large and thick. It makes them very stable. My husband, the stonemason, always lays all of the stones level. If there's a slope to the path, he wedges the side of the stone into the soil, creating a step of sorts. It makes for a very solid and secure stepping stone path. If you've seen some of my other videos, you'll notice this adorable turtle stepping stone. It was a gift from my husband and symbolizes longevity. We collaborated on the design and used cardboard cutouts to finalize the size and shape of the turtle. My husband then sawed the stone and beveled the edges with hand tools to soften the look. Our other stepping stone path is in our woodland garden. It gave us much needed access and looks good too. In this sloped area of the woodland garden, the thick stepping stones seem to offer a perfect solution. They not only provide a defined path, they double as stairs. When a piece of stone is the wrong shape, size, or has sharp corners, my husband uses a mallet and chisel to chink away at the edges of the stepping stone. The result is a more rounded, friendly look. Next to our side yard garden, and separated by a weeping mulberry, hosta, and other perennials, is our stone patio, set against a short retaining wall. In order to create a cohesive look throughout our garden, we use the same stone for all of our pathways, patio, retaining walls, and stairs. The stone we selected is Sandy Creek sandstone. Shipped from our neighboring state, Wisconsin, it's relatively plentiful here in Minnesota and available in various shapes, such as flagstone, wallstone, and steps. As far as tips to laying the flagstone, here's a clip from an earlier video. There's no doubt that Irish moss in between flagstones is a great look. And a lot of people are interested in, one, how we grow the Irish moss between the flagstone. And I'll start by saying my husband has laid all of the flagstone, and he does so on top of very dry, sifted soil. Here's a bucket. This is about the consistency I'm talking about. It just kind of, it's almost like sand, and that's the effect we're going for, so that one, you can level the unevenness of the individual flagstones, and two, it provides a great growing medium for the Irish moss. So again, we don't use gravel, we don't compact gravel, we just use good garden soil as the base layer for the flagstone. And then he does the flagstone about an inch apart. Sometimes it's 2 inches, sometimes it's less. But we shoot for about an inch apart because that allows us to put in very small plugs in between the flagstone to get it growing. Initially, there was only a retaining wall to the left of the stairs. About 5 years later, my husband added a retaining wall to the right of the stairs as well. By using the same type and shape of stone, it looks totally unified. Here, we paired natural stone with stone crop sedum to create a warm cottage look. While we feel fortunate to have a mostly flat garden space, there are areas with steeper slopes, such as behind our garden shed. In this area, we've added retaining walls and terraced the beds. As a result, we've increased our growing area and improved our water management by minimizing any runoff. To improve access, my husband designed this feature with 2 sets of stairs, each with nice large landings. Here's a picture of the job site. For a project of this scope, requiring large, thick cuts, he uses a chop saw with an 8-inch diamond blade. Otherwise, his primary tools are a mallet and chisel. We stick mostly to growing annuals in these beds so that we're free to try new things. For most of the time, we've grown vegetables, but recently switched to a cutting garden full of flowering annuals that look great in bouquets and arrangements and in the ground. Another very key stone element we have throughout our garden is our garden edging. I like the rustic, uneven look. It definitely fits with the enchanted look I was after. We've used Chilton edging, a limestone, to border all of our beds. It looks good with the sandstone elsewhere in our yard. My husband also used the edgers to construct a simple but cute little herb garden. Placed on the corner of the perennial bed, the stone edgers help to give the herb garden definition. Another fun artistic project of my husband's was to create this lovely mosaic pattern of stones on each side of the garden path. He had stone pieces left from the patio project, so he upcycled them into this work of art. When it comes to natural stone in the garden, I've saved the best for last. This stunning bench is my husband's great work of stone art. It's wonderfully cool to sit on during garden breaks on hot summer days. It's over 6 feet long, and the body is made of Chilton wall stone. The seat and back are flagstone, and the striking armrests are Apache red boulders. The green needled branches draping over the bench belong to a weeping white pine. What a perfect pairing. Although we used Sandy Creek sandstone or Chilton limestone for almost all of our garden projects, there are many types of stone available, depending on where you live. For example, here's a sampling of what was recently available at a local stone yard. As you can see, the colors and textures of these flagstones can vary quite a bit. Whatever look you choose, there's no denying the beauty and character of natural stone hardscape. I hope this video has given you some ideas on how you might enhance your own garden using hardscaping. Thanks for watching.